for anyone who may have missed us from small technical difficulties, but it does look like, at least on my end, that you can hear me now.
Yep.
So for those of you who are watching online, you might be able to find a poll. It looks like someone already found it and did one vote. We are deciding what fate this crew is going to find at the party. The options there are 3 different sort cards, or fate cards from the 7th Sea world, coins, the Moonless Night, and the War. We'll give you some time to find that poll, and should be down, I think, either at the bottom or on the right, and vote in that, and then that will affect what's about to happen. But I think you guys were discussing a plan before, as you were riding in the carriage.
Yeah. Ashlyn, please, how may we most efficiently accomplish this task?
Well, this is going to be a bit more complicated than that. So we need to find a study in there. We have to sneak away from the party and find this artifact. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that could figure out which one is which.
Excuse me, the artifact is in the party.
It's it's where the party is located at this manor.
Party or party?
Party, whatever it is.
Excuse me, I make a joke. I'm sorry.
Huh?
That was a terrible joke.
Well, I've heard better, that's for sure. So what we need to do is we need to find the study in the manor. So we need to sneak about and figure out where it is. And then we need to grab it and go really quick. So we need like an exit strategy. I think that's more important. And a way of, once we find where the study is, like drawing all the attention probably to somebody probably dying. I don't know. You're the doctor. What do you think?
Are you saying you want me to poison somebody?
I wouldn't say poison. That would be bad. But maybe,
No, it's okay. I can totally poison somebody.
Just
that seems...
I mean, it's pretty... Honestly, it's pretty easy.
Not poison, maybe an adverse reaction to something. I do believe one of the nobles has
That's
an
called
allergy
poison, yeah.
to
It's called poison.
to shellfish. I don't know.
I'm gonna... Okay, no, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll handle the adverse reaction.
Oh my god, everyone at this party must be allergic to shellfish. What's happening?
How gauche.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to find this room, and I cannot not be seen at the party either. So I think somebody should go searching for it while I'm still there.
Can you give us a detailed description of this artifact?
So that's a good question, Greg.
No, you don't know what it is.
But based off of my knowledge, and I could roll for this, based off of my knowledge, like, would it have some sort of runes to it, or some sort of, like, thing that would, like, be different than the rest?
It's a Syrneth artifact, so you're probably looking at something that looks a little bit strange and not made by human hands. So either strange metals, designs, or like some sort of technology that's non-existent around here, that type of thing.
The best bet would be just to locate where the study is. I can take it from there. So the study will show off like multiple like different artifacts, lots of expensive trinkets and doodads.
Very well. So if we need a distraction, then someone can provide it. Otherwise, but maybe that should be a last resort of sorts.
First option, understood.
Last option.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
I mean, definitely last option, but this is the Voddacce we're talking about. So more than likely might just happen.
And are we fearful that the Prince Caligari will use this artifact for some evil purposes, or?
the possibility is actually quite high if he has the right people in his employ. But I only know a few, and I highly doubt they would serve him. But, money does talk.
Well, I've already got one prince upset at me. Suppose a second wouldn't hurt.
Ditto.
Well, the carriage has wound its way up through the hills along the island and is now stopped in front of a relatively large manor house. There is still a big castle up on the top of the hill that looks like it's been there for ages. But this manor house that you have stopped in front of is pretty expansive, very rich looking, and the sun is just at its starting to set as a man comes out and opens the door and gestures for you to enter the establishment.
Cool. I step forward. I nod at him, thank him for opening the door, and step in.
I follow immediately after him.
I will be the last to leave because I have to make the better entrance.
But ladies first.
This is a very egalitarian fantasy you're up there. Sort of all this.
Fine, I'll go second.
If you're looking for an egalitarian society, Voddacce's probably not first on your list.
Oh, yeah,
as they have an entire secret society devoted to
anti-women
dealing with that situation. That being said, as you walk into the building, it is brightly lit. There are plenty. You can see at least 5 or other well-dressed Voddacce people milling about already. There's someone's playing a stringed instrument somewhere in the house, and so there's kind of a nice calming music going through that, which offsets some of the decor, which includes some glass cages with like fist-sized spiders in them, and a kind of a general black tone to the decor. This is not that unusual in Voddacce, given fate witches tend to keep spiders as pets. And Ashlyn will know that actually Crescentia is in fact a fate witch, as are the majority of the nobles female in Voddacce. So you are brought in, introduced, a couple of nobles that are standing very stiffly come over and say hi to Ashlyn and Ricardo, while looking down their noses at Ursula and Valdis over there.
We can certainly try to look down their noses at us, but I'm pretty sure we are both taller than most
Their
people in this
heads
room.
would have to be like cocked way back.
They're trying really hard, right? They got,
You look down your nose at a 90-degree angle. There's no way you're totally stupid.
Yeah, but you're totally right. They do have some issue with that, and struggling to look down their nose at you, they immediately walk off, leaving you somewhat alone in the entryway. The servant that's there that led you in kind of gestures towards the sitting room and says the master and mistress will be with you soon.
Okay. I guess I'll take a seat.
How many people are here?
It's spread out throughout the house because they're kind of like milling around about, but you would probably guess at least 20.
So 20. Okay. And then they're waiting to talk to us in their parlor.
Yeah, so I suppose I'm going to go find a drink.
I will join Valdis in the parlor, but I will not sit. I will find a corner and put my back to it.
I'm going to sit next to Valdis. And then, just really straight backed, like I'm very much in control here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink with the captain there.
So you guys have been seated for maybe like 10 seconds. When the door, you hear the main door open again, and a very loud, like, person announced themselves. I am here. Welcome. It is to your benefit that the great Giuseppe Bernoulli has decided to grace your party with his presence, and he's like says that, and you hear like some polite clapping and some more loud talk as he moves around the room.
Any idea who this guy is?
Don't you know? It's Giuseppe Bernoulli.
Well, the last name rings a bell. It's one of the noble houses of Voddacce. You might not recognize the first name.
And I know at least two of us don't care.
As noble pricks go, he's one of the largest.
Yeah, well, I'd rather just deal with him than his other brother, so I think we're fine so far.
That causes a bit of a commotion, so people are looking the other way around. When a lady with all dressed in black, veil over her face, kind of floats into the room and slowly sidles over next to Ashlyn, sitting down very politely and deliberately is the right word there, and kind of whispers to Ashlyn, "We must talk, but there are other eyes here."
Is this Credentia?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure once, like, your uniqueness dies down, we could be able to talk. And yeah, I think
It would be best, she whispers, if no one knew who took the artifact. Probably for you and others.
And how would you go about that? Do you want to take a turn around the room?
I'm going to, in a moment, we will do a bit of a tour, and you can scope out the artifact, and then I will leave it up to your discretion as to when it may disappear from the house.
All right. Sounds good.
So,
Cool.
give a quick shout out to anyone else who wants to cause trouble yet? Any one of those? I'm going to start with Ricardo. He's getting a drink.
Yeah. Wait, cause trouble for me?
Well, I mean, you're just calmly there. Giuseppe has entered the room now and is turning to all there with a drink in his hand and eyeing the crowd deliberately and like sizing all of you up. He can't help but have his eyes rest upon the two large soldiers that look out of place in the room, and wonders over there. So, to what do we grace the presence in Voddacce of such warriors as yourselves?
Which one of us is he addressing, or is he looking at both of us?
Kind of both of you.
I'm going to point at Ricardo and say that I am with him.
I'm standing over there on the side, and I look over, and
And we both point at you.
I walk over with my foofy drink, and I down it, and I go, "Ugh, Voddacce, gross," and I set it down.
Oh, sir, I see that you are not only have uncouth companions, but are yourself uncouth.
Yeah, such is the nature of the uncouth seas that I call my home. So it produces a natural character uncouthness. Far better than what you'd find in the slums here. And I look around.
Oh, well, if this was my house in my kingdom, we would be having words at the edge of a blade for those comments, sir.
Well, I suppose this isn't your house. Is he armed?
Yes, he does in fact have like a rapier on it.
Can I, like, intervene?
No,
Yes.
you stay out of this.
Alright.
Oh, this dude insulted me.
Disarming smile. I'm gonna use one of my advantages.
Disarming.
Okay, so we didn't actually talk about hero points starting. Everyone does have 1 hero point unless you have the advantage that gives you 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anybody's done anything to get more.
I was about to, but now apparently there's a disarming smile.
But apparently not.
Yes, he was about to get some of his quirk. All of the quirks are actually listed on the streaming or
Is
on
it? Sorry,
Twitch down
maybe
at the
I
bottom.
didn't. And I retract that. He can do his thing. Because I don't want to waste a hero point already.
Stopping a
I
fight
mean,
now? No.
If things get too rough, there's at least 2 other people in here that make sure it goes in a favorable direction.
So
I say to him, so I suppose this isn't your house, and so you must be afraid of getting it dirty, or more dirty, I suppose.
I could care less of this house, as it is but a minor noble in a minor land, where I, the Bernoullis, are the richest and most powerful of all of the princes. As will be seen, I could snap my fingers and buy a house like this.
I'm gonna just like gossip with the other partygoers about how insulting that was to the homeowner.
Have you ever earned something in your life?
I'm about to earn something today, and that is your honor.
Ooh, throwing some shade. Give it to
And how
me.
are you going to do that? I crack my knuckles.
Oh, dear Jesus.
It does seem like we are in need of a duel.
Well, that was a good time to go.
Cool. I pull my sword.
Oh,
At this point, one of the servants who has been watching, and some of the other nobles around, one of them shouts out. Somebody shouts out, "Oh, we must a duel. We must do proper. To the garden. To the garden." And
Be courteous. Nobody wants to clean those floors.
Who's your second?
He turns to snap his fingers, but right as that happens, the Lord of the House walks in. Not that any of you recognize that, except for maybe Ashlyn. Master. He claps his hands a little bit to get your attention, and says, "My good sirs and guests of our house this evening, I understand that honor must be met. But there is a time and a place for everything. Perhaps first we must all talk, and we have some events to take care of, and then when we will let everyone know so we can all gather together as a group and see the outcome of said duel and whose honor is truly the best."
I slam my rapier back in its scabbard. I grab another drink and I start cursing in Castilian at him as I walk off.
oh boy, this is harder than I thought.
So you obviously get your hero point for that, Casey, because we're not done with the trouble you have caused.
Perfect. I love every second of this.
I got 3 hero points. Yeah.
So does that mean we get to fight him?
Well, I mean, in theory, the duel's put off for a little bit, and if something happens to him in the interim, it may not happen. But at that point, the master of the house is kind of rounding everyone up to do a little bit of he's gathering everybody together. He says, one of the reasons for our gathering this evening is to look over my late uncle's wonderful art and other objects that we had discovered
It belongs
after
in
his
the museum,
passing
damn it.
last month, and to once again remember his name and all that he stood for. So please come and let us tour through. We have set up a bit of an exhibit upstairs.
All this belongs in the
Perfect.
museum. All of it. You know what irks me about this whole like mobility stuff is like they just put these things on a pedestal and then they just collect dust until some people come over and they just like ooh and ah at it and then nobody learns from anything.
What?
It's just, I'm just saying.
Belong in a museum, Captain.
I'm just saying that if some noble people should learn not to just take the stuff that they should not even be busying themselves with.
Well, that being said, they round you up unless you decide to stay behind or resist in some fashion, and lead you up the stairs on a tour.
Oh boy. And this is our pointless room. And this is our other pointless room.
I feel like me and Valdis are somewhere in the back just quietly talking shit to each other about this whole cat! There's
Yes,
a cat. I got distracted. Sorry.
there is. I am in danger of multiple cats ending up in my stream there, so. We'll
That
see.
might happen again. I apologize.
It is possible it could happen again and distract all of the role playing. But that being said, the main event of the tour happens before too long. After only 8 pointless rooms, I believe. Maybe I should
Excellent.
roll.
Roll for pointless room.
Okay, I got 6 pointless rooms before we got there.
Oh.
Okay, I make sure that at every pointless room I compliment the host on how wonderful it is.
Oh, it's so wonderful. This is where you put your obtuse sculptures in an entire room that could probably house like 10 people.
Yeah, no, I basically talk like that. It's just really gibberish, but it sounds really good.
After the 5th one, I will comment that such wealth hasn't been seen in my country in at least 50 years.
Oh,
Very quietly to myself, and probably Rom. I mean, Valdis.
that's some shade right there, Ursula. Some shade.
Well, when you've spent your whole life fighting. Don't worry
Right.
about it. I would reach up to ruffle your hair, but I don't know that you have any.
I do.
Oh, hey, I reach up to ruffle his hair.
Luxurious hair.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Fair enough.
Oh, good.
Ice and flirting is weird.
Oh,
Yes, everyone is poor and dying.
Maybe for your Castilians, it's weird.
I'm like 55. I'm not flirting with any of you people. You're all children to me.
What?
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
I'm going to be commenting on all the historical significance of various items, drawing up a crowd of people.
Excellent. As you get to the end of the last room, there's kind of a big room that's been set up, and they've got like some clearly not very good paintings set up, and other kind of art pieces and like things that might be considered antiques. But in the middle, on one side of the room, there's a strange metal box that you kind of maybe looks a little bit like a music box or something. It's got it's open, and there's a thing in the inside that's spinning. And as you go into the room, it starts to glow. Kind of a blue light that just kind of comes out from the bottom. And when it does that, because it's spinning, it gives that whole the light moves around the room feel. And those of you who are want to can roll. And now I'm trying to remember what our empathy skill is.
empathy?
I think
Empathy.
it's empathy.
Want to start? I'll roll that.
The empathy skill is, in fact, empathy.
With wits? Wit sounds good, right?
This would be wits empathy. Yes.
Sweet. Perfect.
32.
So you're trying to make combinations of 10 with your separate dice.
Right. Well, I only got 2 10s.
I also got 2 10s.
Samesies.
Also got 2 10s.
Two raises. I believe the term, proper term is you could say I got 2 raises.
All right, 3.
Actually knowing how this game
3
works.
raises.
I rolled a 10, 3 2s, and a 4.
Oh, well, that's 1 raise, Rob. So.
Woo!
Oh, wait, 3 2s? Then you got 2 raises out of that.
Oh, did I?
You got the 10 and another 10 on 4 dice.
Right, yeah, you can take as many dice as it takes to make a combination of 10.
Okay. Yeah. I got two. I rolled a 10 and then 2 4s, or three 2s and a 10, or 4.
Math.
Math is
So
hard.
Just keep saying numbers.
Just keep saying numbers. People will just ignore that, right?
Yeah.
42. Mm-hmm.
So our host is not particularly good at hiding his feelings. So it only takes only the first raise goes away for him trying to prevent from noticing things. So for the second raise that you got, you notice that he's absolutely surprised that it starts going blue, right? He's trying to hold that in, but there's definitely some surprise there. Someone had 3 raises though, right?
Right here.
For the third raise, you also notice that he's not just surprised by that, but he's also a bit afraid.
Okay. So then I'm going to cozy on up next to him. And start, just bullshitting about the artifact. And asking him, how long it's been here.
To the whole crowd, he will say, that thing you see there is just one of the objects that we found in my uncle's attic. We thought it is quite a piece of art that he has put together. He was quite a crafter. Those of you who got any raises, we're pretty sure he's making that up.
Right.
Hey, Greg.
Yes.
Does anyone else in the crowd notice that he is full of it?
You don't.
That he's
see
kind of surprised?
a lot. Although Giuseppe is in the crowd, and he is having a conversation with one of his men that's with him right now, and he looks a little animated.
Yeah.
Are we close enough to overhear him?
Saying the Voddacce look animated is kind of redundant.
Fair.
I would like to hear that.
So by the time you try and get over there to hear it or pay attention, it looks like it's over. And Giuseppe steps up and says, "Well, how much for the glowing thing? Price is no object."
For the glowing thing?
Isn't that rather rude to be offering money at somebody's first showing of their dead uncle's stuff?
Mm-hmm. Also referring to it as a glowing thing.
Yeah.
You
Very
uncultured
educated.
swine.
What he said.
He stares at a lot of you and says, "That I will deal with you in the garden. But for now, what
Okay.
better way can I honor this your uncle's demise than with the money and treasure and value of the Bernoulli clan? Let us help you. We can help each other."
Oh, clearly you do not understand what exactly you're trying to get from this shiny box. And I try to bluff, saying it really isn't worth anything. Can I do that?
So, Ricardo, after you duel this guy in the garden, it's my turn, right?
If he's still alive, sure.
Oh, okay. You'll probably do it. I mean, I don't.
I'm not gonna kill him, so
lack
yeah.
of faith. Oh, okay, cool. Bodhi, you want in on this action? You can go third.
I'm good. He's not worth my time.
Her name is Ursula.
No.
So, Ashlyn, you were going to try and do a bluff to...
Yeah, if there's any way I can help her with that,
Yeah.
I'll step in as a tenured professor at the University of Rioja. I can assure you, this object holds very little value.
And basically demean him and make him seem like less than, like, you know,
He's an idiot for
like an
offering
idiot
to
in front
buy
of
this
everybody.
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you're looking at
Nice.
Panache, Convince, and you give you
Okay.
1 extra dice for the assist from Esteban.
Okay, so that's... Oh, that's 8.
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right, and then you want to know how many exploding dice I have from it? Because I have like 3 10s. that I
You
just
don't get
rolled.
to do any exploding yet. You're not...
Ah, damn it. 54.
So you're dividing them up into raises, so pairs of 10.
2, 3. So that would be... So pairs of 10.
Or combinations that add up to 10.
2.
If I can, I would like to keep a separate eye on the person that we saw him talking to, his henchman or whatever. Just watching casually.
So then that will be 3 pairs of 10. I think I did that
Okay.
right.
Math.
I know, right?
Okay. He also got 3. So you...
I'm gonna use it. Can I? I don't know. Is there a way of like making it?
You can spend a hero point.
Out of rank to any value of dice if greater than 10 explodes. Well, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm gonna add a hero point to that. Why not?
Okay,
Let's get it out of the way.
that'll give you another dice to roll,
Okay.
and hopefully that can add a raise.
Bam. 7. And can I use it multiple times? Right? I can. For
Yes.
The 7. Four and a half.
4.5.
So you get a dice left over.
Yeah.
Okay, but 4 is enough. As you feel like you've convinced him that this wasn't particularly worth the money he was giving it to, but at the same time, he's also has a little bit of the I started this and I'm not sure I want to end it. So, but what happens is he goes, well, I see that maybe this is just but a trinket that lights up a room, and that everyone will have one at some point. But that painting over there, that's truly what is valuable. And I will spend my money on
I'm
that
going to
instead.
congratulate him on his keen eye. That is an excellent painting.
Kiss ass.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him bluster about, and I'm gonna kind of take a step back.
Okay. I'm with that. The host wants to kind of rush you out of the room because maybe of glowing things that aren't supposed to be glowing, and starts trying to usher everyone out of the room. Does anyone resist, or does that mostly successful?
Can I hide behind? I mean, while everybody's like all crowding towards the exit, can I hide behind like some sort of pillar or something?
You can certainly try to be one of the last ones out of there, and/or you could try some stealth stuff to actually just hide in the room.
Yes.
Stealth stuff.
Cool. I'm going to spend a hero point and give her 4 bonus dice.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Jesus. Okay, Captain.
No. All right.
I kind of call attention to myself as we're walking out, being like, if Bernoulli, if I beat you in our duel, I get the painting.
But of
And
course,
I step out of the room.
All right.
and if I win, I get your sword.
All right.
He's willing to take that bet.
So then finesse probably. So that's that. And then can I use my athletics to kind of like bend myself? And I get an extra dice for being so small.
Small seems like it would be helpful, so you can add your dice for small. Other than that, you're just adding your hide skill. There it is, hide.
My hide skill. Darn it. Okay, so that's 2. So what's I have? 9,
All right,
10.
Ricardo Torin.
All right, Ricardo, I'm gonna be your corner man. So I'm gonna stand behind you, rub your shoulder.
Okay.
You got this. You got this.
So I have to do it in pairs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it takes care of that.
I'm gonna win. I don't need a sword to beat that guy.
So 9 and 2 times 3.
Wow.
So, there's some conversation in the chat there that I'd like to mention that if you choose at any point to just fail a contest instead of like rolling dice, you can just get a hero point for just failing. There might
Failed
be some conversation
forward.
about Ricardo throwing the duel, but I'm not convinced he's going to go there.
I don't think he's gonna do it, but it'd be cool if I could just, pick up the slack.
Christina,
I get the feeling with this group that you'll get multiple opportunities to do that.
how many dice did you end up rolling there, Christina?
I end up rolling 10.
Oh my god,
Oh.
that's so many dice.
So I have a lot of multiples of 10. So that's 1. So that's
Also, though, for the watchers on, the poll is now closing. Moonless Night is winning for the players that care. We'll see how that plays out.
Huh.
Greg, I don't know what that means.
okay, so and then I have 8.5. Yep, 8. So 8.
Oh, shit.
I rolled 10s, 9s, 6s, and a 7.
Yeah, that's like a huge amount of raises. You can hide in there all day, maybe for the week.
No.
Live there for an extended period of time and no one would notice.
You're now living in this household. You got an extra room and you didn't know it.
Nobody notices I'm there.
But no,
Right.
you have no problem at all with all the commotion staying behind as people sneak out. And you are there, I assume, probably working on hiding things. We're going to get back to you. We're going to go do this duel thing.
Yes.
Because everyone else is headed out to the garden. And
This is going to be embarrassing if I lose.
Sure will.
where
Well,
you
don't
walk out,
lose then, goddammit.
so you walk out into the garden. I guess we're going to say there's no moon tonight, but that's not at all what the card means. So the garden is lit by just lanterns.
Oh.
And they're already preparing like a space. Duels are really common in Voddacce. This is
Right.
just how things work here. So they pretty much have a dueling space in the back of the manor. Nice kind of flagstones set down.
Next to a
some
water fountain.
Yeah.
It's very Street Fighter-esque.
And there's some seats for people to sit down and watch and the whole lot. So as you sit down in the garden, Giuseppe pulls out his sword and does a whole bunch of like dramatic flourishes with it in an attempt to intimidate. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to make it good the whole time I'm kissing this guy's ass as we're going out there. Like, just how nobles like it to have really trying to ingratiate myself to this fella.
Roll kiss ass.
Okay. I think that you might not need raises to kiss ass. 'Cause he doesn't resist.
He doesn't resist.
He seems pretty susceptible to that. He might have a hubris on that nature of some sort.
Perfect. Great.
So you are definitely in his good graces as as someone who will tell him awesome things about himself that he wants to hear. And as Ricardo is standing across from him in the dueling space, he has a second as well. It's one of the men he came in with, who also looks a lot like him, has a noble clothes and rapier at his side, and kind of an arrogant expression on his face. He does his flourishes and attempts to intimidate you. This would be putting pressure on you to... He does a pretty bad job of attempting to intimidate you, Ricardo. He got 1 raise.
Cool. So I want to... can you explain to me how what should I roll? I want to use panache. Basically, I want to make a show of this. I want to draw as much attention as possible.
Right.
I kind of want to draw this out, so I'm going to fight defensively as well, to try and give Ashlyn as much time as possible.
Yeah, excellent. There's 2 things. First, there's the social intimidation aspect, and then we'll get to the duel. So you would want to roll empathy to defend from his intimidation.
Okay.
And it sounded like you wanted to do it panachely. So
Sure.
do some panache empathy. And you need 2 raises to completely nullify his intimidation, and anything above that will actually hurt him
Cool.
in the duel, as you guys have facing down, flourishing your blades, and
Let's see,
moving along the crowd.
I'm only rolling 4 dice here, but I think, let me look see if there's any other advantages I have. Most of mine are about being on ships or helping other people, so not really 4 dice. I could maybe get 3 raises on this.
Claire?
Oh, no, I did bad.
Uh-oh.
I got 1 raise
Oh no!
on that, and that is 1 dice left over. That's I rolled a 3-3-1-4.
Ooh.
Bad luck says that.
I'd love to
That's-
let that happen, Ashlyn, but you are way not in this scene.
Damn it! No.
You wanna? Yeah.
I wanted to give you
You're too busy hiding in the useless room number 6.
room number 6. Not so useless though.
So 1 raise, huh? Same as him. You guys, for the onlookers, which is more important, this is not particularly impressive display of panache and flair as they do these things.
We both might be a little bit hot-headed, and perhaps have had a few drinks. I don't know.
If he had drinks, he probably had them before.
Good job, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
We got this. I got this.
There might be some
Really
light
upset.
betting in the crowd among who they think is going to win. Those of you in the crowd don't seem like there appears to be a strong favorite among the 2 of them.
I want to partake in this betting.
Oh, so you've got a point of wealth, right?
Wager your point of wealth.
I
You can
don't
wager.
think I do have a point of wealth.
Most everybody starts with 1 point of wealth per session. So you
Then
have
yes,
one.
I will wager my point of wealth.
We're not completely broke.
Unless you
He had
took
one
some
more point
one
of wealth
those
than he thought he
backgrounds.
did, so might as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, it sounds like we're starting the duel though, because we need to waste a bunch of time while our archaeologist finds some artifacts. So, at this point, you're both going to roll for your attack. Whoever has the most raises goes first. But we're basically doing that sort of duel. Now, you can spend raises to prevent wounds that you take from the other person, so that would be a way to do defensively, Casey.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing, is mostly spending my raises to avoid wounds.
So all you've got to do is basically prevent, roll higher than him, and then you can prevent him from taking any wounds. This duel, in theory, you guys didn't really talk about what's going to end this duel.
Great.
There might be some expectation that somewhere around the first dramatic wound it's going to stop, but we'll see how that plays out.
That seems reasonable. However, I'm not sure either of us are reasonable at the moment.
We should have dropped ground rules. That was our bad.
Rushing into things, you know.
I might
Fight
just
to the
keep
pain.
going until one of us gives up. That's yeah.
Oh boy. This is not Ison, is it?
No, you're not an Ison anymore, Dorothy.
So I'm gonna make a weaponry panache roll.
We have been forgetting to use flare for in general. If you remember that at any scene, this is the first time
Oh
you've used
right,
this
I get
skill,
my bonus.
you get a
Yeah.
bonus 1. Because
Forgot about
PCs have flare and NPCs don't.
Bodhi shouted flare last time, but I didn't know what she was talking about. My bad.
Well, the chat called it out, and I called it out to you guys.
Ah.
Good job, chat. Keep
Good
it up.
job. Good job, chat. Chat's better than we are. Here we go. It's okay.
So
Totally fair.
let's see. How many raises did you get?
I got 2 with 2 extra dice left over.
He also got 2. What's your finesse?
My finesse is a 3.
His is also a 3. We'll let you go first.
So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna fight defensively. So what are the risks? How many wounds am I risking here?
I mean, you can do nothing with that. You can wait for him. You are defensive, so he's going.
I start taunting him. I start cursing in Spanish at him. I say, "El burro sabe más que tú," which means donkeys know more than you.
Ooh!
Okay, you spend your
6 Spanish burn.
So you spend your first raise to taunt. He is easily tauntable and comes at you with all 3 of his raises, doing 1 wound to you.
Ow.
With a flare because you were so busy taunting, apparently. And or excuse me, both of his raises, right? So it works out to 1 point though. As this is basically just like a little cut on your sleeve. First touch, and he of course soaks in that. First touch is mine, you Spanish pig dog.
Ooh!
Spanish? What is Spanish? Castilian.
Castilian pig dog. Excuse me.
Castilian pig dog.
Let's see if I can pronounce this correctly. Eres tan patético que resultas entrañable, which apparently means you're so pathetic you're actually entertaining.
I'm gonna translate this for the crowd.
I'm not even going to try to translate shit into Lithuanian.
It's okay, I can do it for you.
I mean, Google can, right? So
I mean, yeah, but they don't really give you the pronunciations. Like, Z's sound like G's.
Perfect.
J or G?
G. Like,
Okay, we're gonna do one more round here, Casey.
Okay.
Ricardo, and then we will move back to our archaeologist.
So I lose my flare on that one, so I'm rolling 5 dice this time. Let's see, there might be 3 in there. 1, 2, nope, just 2. Think.
He is also just short of 3 as well, 1 point short. So this is another. I assume you just play defensive this time. We're just going to say you guys are like doing a nice. It's really good cinematically, right? The duel's taking a while. You're going back and forth. You appear to be pretty evenly matched, and you're entertaining the crowd at least.
Are there any other opportunities that might present themselves if I get an extra? Well, we don't have to worry about right this second, but basically, if there are any opportunities I can spend raises on, even if I take 1 wound, to really draw this out is my goal.
Sure. We'll get back to that. Right now, we're doing that, and I'm going to have Ashlyn in the room. What's your plan?
Well, we're gonna get one of the artifacts that we were meant to get, which is obviously the jewel box, right?
Sure,
But I mean,
seems
all
like
the other
it.
stuff, all the other stuff needs to go to a museum too.
Most of the stuff in here isn't particularly
Is it
valuable. I mean,
okay?
it's more like home
Is there anything
paintings
else?
and stuff.
Okay, so no.
There isn't anything in here that you would immediately say this needs to go to a museum other than the clearly Syrneth artifact that's made of some strange metal music box thing.
I mean, there's that painting.
Right. So, I mean, and I'm just gonna look around the pedestal to see if there's any like latent magic or any kind of alarm, because you never know. So, what would that be? Would I just
You're rolling scholarship on or notice, depending on. You're probably noticing. So wits notice.
what's noticed? Okay, so then that will be okay. 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 This is times 2. And then okay, so then that will be 1, 2, 6.
6.
Mhm.
Okay, so
I think I'm doing it right. I hope I'm doing it right, because like you can mix and match. Like it's kind of like with the pegging game, right?
you can
Where you
mix
do
and
more.
match, but sometimes you'll have if a dice doesn't match up, then it has to just be lost.
And you don't get to carry over any.
Yeah, no, I don't carry over.
So okay.
Okay.
So a few things with the 6. Let me double check and make sure my.
Because let's say, okay, so I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. So let's say I get 2 9s and then I have a 5. So that means I have a 9, like 9. I can use the 9 and 5 twice because it's 2 separate 9s, correct?
No.
You'd have that. 2 9s and a 5 would be just one raise.
Yeah.
Would be. Oh, okay.
Because you can only make one combination out of.
So it's not like
two.
cribbage.
So it's not like cribbage that way. All right, I'm playing it by cribbage rules. So that means half of that. So then it's 3.
Okay. So the first thing that you notice right away as you're sitting down there, I mean, obviously, one raise tells you right away this is a Syrneth artifact. You're pretty sure it's not a music box. The second thing you notice is that there's somebody standing in the doorway that wasn't there. You're sure wasn't there a second ago.
Uh-oh.
The third raise, because you were looking for like sorceress type things, right? Like or magic. The person standing in the door clearly just used a bunch of magic.
Well, good thing I have resist sorcery.
Actually, one of the
Who is
things. Well, no, we'll get back to that later. Yeah. So there's somebody in the door.
Well, I am going to fly casual. I'm just going to pretend I stayed behind to look at all the stuff. And I'm going to turn around and act surprised. Oh, and who are you?
So the person standing in front of the doorway is dressed in Voddacce priest garb,
Ah,
but the skin is unnatural, dark and smoky. Kind of like a deep gray, but like not smooth in coloration. And there's kind of, instead of where the eyes are, there's kind of like these purple pinpoints staring at you. And there's kind of like, you feel like the whole room got a little darker than it was a second ago.
So,
And you can thank everyone who voted Moonless Night for this, too. Side note.
Thanks, y'all.
so then I'm just gonna grab the artifact, because obviously he's not here as a representative of anybody, and I'm gonna put it in my little satchel. And I go like, the rest is yours.
In a inhuman voice, it says, "Give me the box."
You know,
Give me the box.
I wish I can, but you know what they say is, finders keepers and all that stuff, right?
Finders keepers.
Perfect.
When you say that, the room goes completely black.
Oh, God.
And everything goes dark.
So, Christina, think about your new character.
Right, all right, guys. So good to do now.
Ursula, did you have something?
I was kind of sort of waiting for a break in the action, but we just kind of shifted. My intent was to state that I stayed near the door where she did not come out of, because I don't really care about the duel at all. Would I have been able to hear any of this happen? Or no? I'm okay with no.
Let's,
I'm not okay with no.
This is kind of what I do.
Ashlyn, do you have a hero?
Christina's not okay with no.
I'm squishy.
Scary, evil, magic sorcerer guys.
Right, no.
So, Ashlyn, do you have a hero point to summon your Eisen help?
I spent it. But I did talk about how, aristocrats are, different people. I don't know.
There are different people.
Okay.
Different people.
So, Ursula, here's
Better
what Ursula, what we'll do is you obviously stay behind a little bit because you weren't interested in the duel. So you're back in the house. You're not necessarily right up near that. I'm going to probably put you right by the stairs. So if anything loud happens, you will hear it.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
they're
waiting.
really loud things.
Oh, God. I'm
So,
ready.
Ashlyn, is anything loud happening?
Yeah, I'm gonna knock over the pedestal.
And maybe scream, "Help me!"
Well, I don't want to draw unnecessary. Okay, actually, no way. Yeah, help!
Okay, so you
You do at this point. You do want to draw attention.
A very resigned, help me.
Help me, I guess.
I'm not used to being
I'm surrounded by darkness, but whatever.
right. Just like that. Help!
so
Somebody help!
there are two things here that go on, right? First off, you push over the pedestal.
Yeah.
Partly because it's dark and you just lashed out and it was there.
Right.
And then you do kind of a mild help thing. I need to yell help, but I don't want to let anyone know I'm here kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the pedestal, when it goes over, it clearly hits something else, like maybe an easel with a portrait or something on it.
Ooh.
And so there's kind of like one of those domino type things, right? You hear a crash, and then another crash, and then another crash, and then there's some breaking glass, and you have no idea because it's pitch black exactly what's happening. But you do hear a bunch of that. Ursula, you absolutely hear breaking glass and crashing things. In fact, as a side note, they drown out the little help that came after that.
The sounds of broken glass.
As you do.
Help me, help me.
I run towards the sound.
I'm going to take out the music box and I'm going to open it up. Maybe it will shed some light on the subject.
Okay, it feels warm, but then something happens.
Oh no.
That might involve dice rolling.
We're doing good, team.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Does this
okay.
go into the realm of resist sorcery?
So I just rolled 8 dice, and my highest number is 4.
Wow.
I have 3 4s, 3 2s, a 3, and a 1.
Dang, buddy.
So that's only going to be like two raises.
Do my what?
So something fast and cold and strong whizzes by where you were and trips over a pedestal.
Yes! It
That
worked!
wasn't there, maybe. And there is a further crashing noise. It did manage to catch one hand on a piece of your clothing.
I'm fine with that.
But other than that, you are free at the moment.
Head towards the direction of the door.
You run towards the door. Give me a just straight wits. I guess notice. I mean, wits notice.
Wits notice, got it.
Or maybe finesse notice. This might be a finesse notice situation.
I can definitely do finesse notice too.
As you try and run to where the door is and not to where the wall is.
Right, and it's not running, it's more like a speed walk.
Right.
Power walking.
Cautiously dashing.
While dragging a thing along. Ursula, you are rushing that direction as well.
Yep.
You turn the corner and you notice that, like, you can't see to the end of the hall, which doesn't make any sense because there's light here and you would normally be able to see the end of the hall, but there's just kind of a blackness there, which is either like it's really unnaturally dark or it's some portal to another dimension.
Do I know of any horrors that have done similar things in the past? Or does
Darkness
this
is
seem
not
more
that
sorcery
uncommon.
based? Ah, neat.
Ew.
So this
You're
is
in your
good.
element.
I will do a cool move to get my greatsword in front of me, and then, per my training, wade into darkness, keeping my senses open.
Okay.
Wade into
Jeez.
darkness. God,
Their
that's
sword
so
glow.
badass.
Okay. How'd your notice go, Ashley?
Two ranks. Or two, whatever.
Okay.
Raises.
Two
Yep.
raises is enough to hit the door. At least as far as you're aware, but when you get there, you hit something hard and leathery.
What
Oh,
the?
It's Ursula.
Oh,
Oh,
So
Wait,
I'm very startled.
Change those words. I don't like that description.
and she's obviously way taller than I am. Turn around, run, we gotta go. And I grab her.
as soon as it starts talking, it's clear who it is, Ursula. But there's something
Okay.
else there, and
We gotta go.
You
something grabs Ashlyn from behind.
Oh,
Like these cold hands grab onto your shoulders and start pulling you back into the room.
I
What
would
do you
like
do?
to counter grab.
Yeah.
Counter grab.
It's like counter spell, but for fighters.
Yes. Like to contest that grapple check if I can.
Tug of war.
Wrap a beefy arm around this very small woman and attempt to pull her out of this icy grip.
Okay,
Banjo, indeed.
we're gonna do that, and then we'll head back to the duel. Why don't you give me a strength roll?
So you looking for athletics or brawl? Doesn't matter. They're both additional 3, and I bet you can't guess what I'm using for trait.
Is it broad?
Rod?
It is. It is brawn.
Is it
Surprise.
wits?
It's panache.
Oh God, I dropped it. 3.
Okay.
Paddle the other way, boys.
The other way, boys. I'm on board with him.
So I did get a 10. Explodes. 4. I think I did the math correctly there.
I'm excited about 4 because that's what it got too.
Oh
Which,
dear.
No, mad luck.
which isn't so great for. I'm actually going to have you take just one wound, Ashlyn, as you are tugged between the two very strong things, both trying to get a hold of you. You notice that, and you also notice that the box you're holding, because you're holding onto that with a tight grip, I assume,
Oh.
seems to be getting warmer and warmer.
Oh.
But we'll leave you with that and thoughts as we get back to the duel where two people are just ineffectively flailing pieces of metal at each other.
No, this is good. Both
And
sides are doing well.
hurling insults, effectively, though.
You're not allowed to rip the archaeologist.
Well, I didn't ask which half you wanted in case of a.
In case of
in case you only got half. Which one? Which you
I
want?
forgot to flare. My bad, chat. My bad.
Like the top half.
I mean, preferably.
I vote top hash.
Yeah.
Left half.
No,
I mean,
top.
as nice as Ashland's legs are,
Right.
I feel like the top half's more important.
It's the taller portion of my body, that's for sure.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do back out on the dueling ground is, obviously Ricardo is way too involved to notice anything crazy going on in the house. But that's not true of Esteban and Valdez.
Yep.
Great.
So I want you both to do a notice. It's a tough one, though. You're going to need 3 raises to have noticed that there's some commotion going on in
Okay.
the house.
Here I go.
I'm not gonna forget my flare this time, so I'll be rolling more dice. Let's see how I did.
Oh, that's actually really good. Yeah. My notice is terrible, but my wits isn't too bad. But yeah, I got 3 10s.
Oh,
That should do it.
I think I also got 3.
Okay. So if you both got 3 and no more, basically you get that there seems to be some commotion going on back in the mansion. You don't know, you have no idea what it is or anything like that, but there is something going on. Meanwhile, Ricardo, what's your plan on the duel? Get hit again, I heard? That was the plan?
Hey, you don't know my plans. No, yeah, I keep hurling insults at him, and I kind of back up maybe into the garden and put like a tree or something in between us, and call him uno ombligo. Oh, yeah, that's it. He's a belly button.
You're doing great, buddy.
He's a belly button.
Yep. That's all I could think of right there. My bad.
Well, he rolled better than he did before, so maybe the belly button just really got to him. How'd you do on your raises this time around?
That is 1, 2, and 1 dice left over.
Okay, so he comes at you with 3 raises after your insult.
Oh, shit.
You probably spent 1 insulting, so that's going to be 2 wounds as he gets near the dramatic wound stage.
I can take 2 wounds?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Getting close. I'm good. I'm good.
What could go wrong?
He's fine.
People in the crowd are starting to have the, like, maybe Giuseppe will win this thing. He definitely looks at this stage like he's the superior combatant, although that might just be because you're sharking him. I don't know.
Maybe I want to do... Okay, I'm good. I'm good with that at the moment.
Okay, so Esteban and Valdez, are you going to do anything about commotion in the building, or remain out for the duel?
What are you gonna do, Esteban?
Oh, I'm. So, do I notice him noticing?
Because I noticed, and you noticed that I noticed. We noticed each other noticing.
Then I'm gonna look at Valdez and like nod at. Hey.
Do you want me
Because-
to take care of this, or and you stay here, or should we both? Okay. I'll
Yeah,
go.
and
I'll go. You stay here.
yeah. You gotta. I'm. Me and fighting This is your thing, buddy.
Right. Of course it is. All right. Here, Ricardo, don't die. I'm going inside.
Now, don't worry about me. And I get stabbed again. Ah!
And then I get stabbed again.
It's okay if Giuseppe goes in for the kill. It'll just be Esteban to stop him.
Yeah, so I'll go inside.
Oh, stop him. Right.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll do one more round out here with Ricardo,
Mm-hmm.
and see how things go.
He's looking pretty smug at the moment, I feel like.
He is absolutely looking smug.
Yeah, it's time to do something cool. So I'm going to go all in on him. I'm going to spend all my raises to do wounds, even if he hits me back. And I'm going to spend a hero point to activate my signature item. It, like, falls out of my shirt and, like, spins and just catches the light just right to kind of flash in his eyes. And I'm
Sure.
going to ram him through. So I'm going to do attack a foe to deal wounds equal to the raises you spend plus your highest trait when using the signature item.
Yeah, so a pendant falls out. You want to describe that pendant for what it looks like?
Sure, it is triangular. It has a bunch of little markings all throughout. It's triangle, and it's bordered by a bunch of winged creatures. There looks to be some sort of double-headed bird coming out the top of it. And the kind of cool clasp that kind of looks like the top of like an 8-pointed star. There's a small jewel at the center of the double-headed bird. Actually, can I just post this? Can I do this?
Oh, no. That's good enough for now, Ricardo.
Okay.
And then you roll your dice.
Yeah, I got 2 raises. So I'm going to spend those 2 raises plus my highest trait, which is 3, to deal 5 wounds to him.
Okay.
Whoa.
5 wounds will dramatically injure him.
Good.
What kind of dramatic injury did you want there? As he was blinded by your thing.
I want to wipe that smug smile off his face, so I stab him through the cheek.
Bruh.
Oh, gee.
I'm not trying to kill him.
Oh.
I'm specifically going for the cheek.
Oh, no.
People pierce their cheek all the time. I ask him why so serious?
Why so serious?
Oh god.
Or I
seems like
punch him really hard. I don't break his nose or something.
And then the new 7th Sea villain was the Joker.
Right.
Castiglione, it's a yoker, okay?
Okay. So at the end of that, was it broken nose or like slash across the face?
If it's too violent to slash him across the face, it's broken nose.
Well, that's up to you, right? Not me, or not.
Well, my gut instinct was to go for a slash across his face,
Okay.
because
Okay.
a broken nose will kind of go away after a little while. A slash across the face will leave a scar.
Okay. That's the kind of trouble you get into. Also, somebody's getting breathing into their microphones, so make sure that isn't happening.
Greg, does this guy count as a villain?
Giuseppe counts as a villain, yes.
Okay, then I'm going to rush over and say, "Oh, my lord, I am a doctor. I can treat this."
It's actually a really good move if you want to stop the duel, because obviously that pissed him off a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
So if you can try and convince him that he should get that treated right away so that it doesn't
Yeah.
scar, I think there's a good angle there for that. And that
Okay,
would
so
maybe stop the duel.
I'm definitely going to try this. So we'll do some panache, some convince, and my flair, because I haven't done this.
This is your first time trying to convince a villain to let you heal him, yes.
Okay, I got 4 raises.
I think I give you an extra raise because you had already been, like, sucking up to him earlier.
Yeah! I knew it'd come in handy. Valdis over there, mocking me. No, I know what I'm doing.
Well, the good news is it required that last raise because he was pretty angry, but that wasn't enough.
He
If it
was
hadn't
so
been for that,
pissed off.
you would have, but you do manage to convince him that, yeah, you should take a look at that dramatic wound right away.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I can kick his ass when I get
Which means that we get to swap back to archaeologists being pulled apart by large beings while a
I'm going.
soldier
That's-
comes that direction, hopefully not too far from now. I'm going to guess that what's going on isn't particularly quiet. There's a lot of grunting and stuff. So Val does have a pretty good idea where to head. But first we need to decide what we're going to do. And I'm actually going to ask Ashlyn first what your plan is as you're being pulled apart.
Not get pulled apart anymore. Well, I mean, I do keep a couple of daggers in my boots. And like, are they like, how are they like pulling me apart? Is it arms or is it just like around my torso?
Well, he's got you by the shoulders.
Okay.
So she's probably got you around the torso, I guess, unless.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, that leaves like my arm is free. Actually, I'm gonna pull out my signature item, the short sword.
Yeah, your arms are totally free.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna like stab behind me.
Sounds great.
Yes, it does. So I'm doing that.
I'm excited that you have a signature item that you were given that you have no skill in. It's going to be fun.
Great. It's
So he
fine.
didn't actually treat you to use it. Just here is a good thing to have along.
No, I usually use it to cut like brush in front of me. It's kind of like machete.
Sure.
Sure.
So why don't
Signature weapon to cut
Oh
brush.
boy.
you can roll for your finesse, as it turns out, just your finesse
Okay.
for that stab. Ursula, you can also roll your what I assume keep pulling that direction unless you've got some other plans.
I mean, if the blind stabbing actually works, I was just gonna toss her to the side and then strike at the whatever this is.
So the side note,
One.
it is pitch black, so you don't know what she's
Okay.
doing.
So I can't. Okay, I can't see anything.
Can't you feel me as like I'm moving around and stuff?
I mean, she's
You're
clearly
wiggling.
doing something.
And hear like the shink of like a sword being done?
Do I see the hands on her shoulders?
You can't see the hands.
Mm.
So you don't actually know what's pulling her that direction.
I will demand she tell me what's happening right now.
Take that! And I got one rank.
Okay.
One thing.
Your one raise.
Yeah.
The good news for you is that your assailant is busy trying to pull you that direction, and doesn't seem to actually care a lot about the sword. So you definitely stabbed something, but it doesn't seem to hurt it very much.
It has me by the shoulders. It's a demon thing? I don't know.
It's a demon
Ooh.
thing.
Ooh, triggered.
Triggered.
All right.
The triggered. Holy shit! She deserves a hero point for being triggered.
I mean, she gets a hero point for being triggered at some point here. As soon as she tries to hunt it down, which probably
Yep.
soon.
Which is probably now. Now it.
Call it a belly button. I can't see it, which is a problem. So I will redouble my efforts to pull the archaeologist out of its way. But now that I know that it's holding her by the shoulders, I'm kind of, because she's little, so I'm going to dip her quickly and pull her back.
Okay.
To
That
try and
sounds
loosen its grip.
sort of
a
like
dance.
finesse-y, but
Put your hands above my
Um,
head. You dip, you dip, we dip.
I'll just give you an extra die for having some strategy. Essentially, that's her assisting you in that.
Yay! So
Valdis, you are coming up the stairs now, and you
Yep.
might have heard something like, "It's a demon thing." You clearly recognize the voice.
Yeah, well, I guess I better time it up the stairs.
okay.
Come on.
Generally speaking, people don't normally shout at the demon thing.
I wasn't
Passing
really.
conversation.
Hey, my exploding dice luck holds true, team. There are 2 in there.
Good job. Way to go.
4, 5. That's a 6 to get her the fuck out of there.
Wow.
That's totally going to do it.
Told you I was triggered, man.
You do your downward pull thing, and you pull that direction. I assume you want to kind of drag her out of the darkness as
That is
quickly
the
as
intent.
possible.
Yep.
And so that's what you're doing. There's definitely a cold presence as you do that, and you, as you escape its grip there, Ashlyn, you hear a muttered curse under its breath in some dark, horrible voice. Ursula, you hear that too. So now for the fun part. Valdis, you're coming up the stairs, and you're going down that hallway, and you just see darkness, and then all of a sudden, Ursula comes barreling back out of it at a high pace because they just let go, right? And carrying Ashlyn, who's like half the size of Ursula. One of you actually has small,
Little
the other one
baby.
but happens to be like covered in, has got like 3 really large spiders crawling on her
Yeah.
Oof.
that you hadn't seen before, but we're now out of their cage.
All right, maybe because of all the crashing and tipping over domino effect.
Right.
Hey, it worked in my favor.
For now.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I'll try and. I guess I'll try and grab the spiders off of her and stomp them.
Just go.
Well, we know they're Fate Witch pets, right? What's the context for that?
Don't hurt them. No, they might be.
Don't hurt them.
Don't hurt them.
Dude, they're giant icky spiders, man.
But they're fine. They haven't bitten us yet. We just need to get going before that thing comes after us.
What thing is that?
I don't think so, and I'm going to hand our little archaeologist off to Valdis and
What
then
am I,
use my
potatoes?
great sword to face the darkness, assuming the thing is coming out.
Archaeologist.
I like that. You like reach forward for the spiders, and she gives you the whole person. And the person's like, "Don't hurt the spiders." While bursting out of the darkness in front of you, you see this person, dark skin. Oh, you remember the description? Purple eyes, all of that. It's kind of got like the darkness seems to like trail behind them, like it almost grabs onto them and, as they come out of it. And it's just basically coming right for Ursula. And
I ready a counterstrike,
Oh,
because
Jesus Christ.
this is what I wanted.
All right. So this is not going according to plan at all.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
not
gonna
good.
run your ass out in the garden. I hope that's okay, because that's where I'm running.
Oh no.
I need to hide this, and I just put it under. I stuff it down me or something. How big is the box? Okay, yeah.
So the
Cleavage.
box is about like 10 inches across, and so it's not. You might be able to hide it. It is glowing pretty significantly now. The color has changed. It's actually kind of like it's gone from blue to like almost more of a white.
Just drop me off around the corner. I can disappear.
And there's
Around the corner. I can disappear. All right.
And I can
there's
meet
light
you
coming
guys
from
back.
other places as well from it.
Yeah, I'll most definitely let you down and let you run on your own. I'll help
thank
you
you.
with this.
I can meet you guys back at the ship, maybe, because I do not want to be
I
caught.
feel
with
like meeting back at the ship is the only option we have.
it. Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure this party's ruined.
Yep. So I'm gonna
Okay.
do
I
that.
think it's great.
Ursula, it hits you for 4 points of damage as it slams into you, which is not enough for a dramatic wound, so you're good there.
Okay. So I have 4 wounds out of 20, or
Yeah,
where do
4
I
flesh
put that?
wounds, as we would call them.
Okay. That's fine.
Every fifth wound is a dramatic wound, unless something special happens, like gunshots or
Okay.
the like.
Something particularly impressive.
Right, and when dramatic wounds start to happen, that's when you start to like get benefits for being wounded,
hmm
as you get more and more angry and adrenaline filled.
Which I'm sure is fine.
So it might be to your disadvantage that it didn't actually dramatic wound you there, because otherwise you'd get a bonus.
For me
Only got
specifically, maybe a little bit.
So, that being said, you can now hit it. with
I
your
would like
counter-strike.
to counterstrike it. And I would. Can I? I still have hero. We start off with 1 hero point, right? Have I
Yes.
earned any additional hero points?
I feel like you should
Game
totally have
Master?
earned your Monster Hunter one, so have one for that quirk.
Okay,
So that's
neat.
2.
I believe I can tap the war for this, because this dude is a villain.
Yes.
Neat. So assuming that I hit him with 2, 3, 4, 5, with a 5 on my weaponry.
Did you get flare?
Oh, I did not. But I don't think the extra dice will
And
get me.
also, have you looked up the special stance for
I was
Draconite?
not given special stats for the Draconison, so I've not applied them.
I
It
do
was
know what those
really
are, so...
choice.
Is
we
her
will-
question? Is her sword glowing?
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely glowing.
Neat.
That might have been something that she... It wasn't glowing till pretty much she heard the commotion, so probably... This is probably the first time you looked at it, but it is absolutely glowing.
Alright. So, assuming that I hit it, I will activate my virtue the first time I wound a villain during a fight, and give them a dramatic wound. I give
Yeah.
them an additional dramatic wound into
Yes.
anything I would normally deal.
Yeah, that's... so, you... I guess it's your 8... You did 5 base, right?
Yeah.
Okay, extra for Draconizing, and then that, so you do 2 dramatic wounds to it,
Ooh,
which is pretty significant.
that is
Yay!
really significant.
I'm a scary lady, guys.
Yay, you're on our team.
So you get your, it comes at you, and you basically chop an arm off.
Oh.
We'll go with the arm, traditional,
I'm okay with that.
and it, like, it's kind of like a black ichor spews from the arm, not necessarily as violently as you might expect, and it screeches in pain as the Draconizing sword kind of burns through it, and it almost has that, like, maybe this wasn't such a good idea look in its eyes.
That's right.
As it didn't know a Draconizing sword was waiting for it outside here.
I will offer to make eye contact with it. It says it will not get away today.
Hacks.
You lock eyes with its purple gaze while, Valdis, what are you doing with your ward?
Well, I put her down because she was fine on her own, and I told her to basically GTFO, while simultaneously running towards the darkness and whispering to myself, "Hey, what is that thing? Please tell me." I mean, I don't know what I need to roll for asking my Deva what that thing is, but convince, maybe?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, hell, that's really, really good. Yeah, that's 3 successes. 3 10s.
Okay, your Deva doesn't immediately respond,
Right.
because you get the impression it's searching for the right word,
Mhm.
but it responds with something familiar.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
That takes you that action. Ashlyn, are you getting
You
out
know,
of his hands?
No,
or-
because now I'm very curious because, I need to investigate things that are unusual, especially if it looks dangerous. So activating my hubris for that. Because, he reacted to the Syrneth artifact, so, like, maybe he could be, like, some sort of clue as to, like, this, like, lost civilization. Like, he looks different than the rest. Like, is he from these people? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I move forward, and then I see his arm get, like, lobbed off. And so I stop and I'm just gonna watch. And in the meantime, like tear a piece of my dress and make like a little satchel or something to hide this glowing object.
Excellent. I'm going to spend a danger point. I get them too. I don't know if you know this.
Oh!
And I'm going to spend my danger point to let it take an action because it is swift. Casey?
You do need to spend in the if it's a monster or whatever, you need to spend 2 danger points in the presence of the Draconite.
That is correct. And
rules lawyer.
well, if we've got rules, no, but that is good because that's to your benefit. Because its action is, of course, to try and leap past very quickly past the Eisen and grab the box as you're trying to put it away. So with lightning reflexes,
Well, there's 2 people between me and that thing too.
Yeah, it does a ceiling thing where it like jumps onto the ceiling.
Oh, cool,
and, like,
cool.
Okay.
And it's got an arm missing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing to see see it happen.
With one hand.
As it leaps up there, its legs look like they almost get longer as it touches the in order to get all the way across the hall, and then it comes down right in an attempt to grab the box.
Uh-uh.
And it looks like it's probably doing pretty good at that with
No!
4 raises to grab the box.
Ah, fuck. What can I do? I can try not for him. Okay, so what do I use? Can I use my finesse and my athletics to kind of move out of the way?
You can use finesse athletics to try and keep it from grabbing, yes. Obviously, your target number here is going to be 4 successes, and we'll see that. While you're rolling that dice, though, I'm going to ask Ricardo and Esteban. Esteban, you're probably pretty busy, like bandaging up
back
his
to the
face.
important stuff.
Yeah. I'm busy getting another hero point thing.
Because you need to make sure you've got plenty for all of that doctoring you're going to do.
Right.
And maybe later to the party members, but we'll see. Right. Ricardo, what are you doing? You look around and you'll notice that Valdis is gone.
I'm shaking my fist at my sword in my hand, that's shaking the hilt at him. Bernoulli, like you fucking excuse me. I was thinking I'm going to curse, and then I just did.
Wow, it's like
I don't know. I cursed at him in Spanish or a Castilian, and then dramatically turn away from him and cape flying, and then I look around to see where the hell did Valdis goes. He wanted to beat this guy up, but he left.
Okay. So, Ashlyn, how did you do?
I'm gonna use my greater luck so I can get up to 4 ranks.
Okay.
So
it does require a hero point to activate your luck.
Yes, and in fact, I did use my hubris, so I think you can get a hero point with that. So that's what I'm going to use.
So you ran in there.
Because
I was a hero point to spend it.
To spend it. Yes, I wasn't anticipating the thing to get past.
Perfect.
Yeah,
big beef lady person.
Yep. I agree with that. And but you got a total of 4 then, right?
Yes.
So that's the wonderful situation again where you both have hands on it. Right. But no one's got it. And as you once again look, although let me be clear, it does not have hands on it. It has hand on it. You will notice that now you're really close to its face. It does have sharp pointed teeth too. You hadn't really noticed that before.
Oh, that's really interesting. Can you brush between those teeth? I don't know. Pretty neat.
I mean, brush with a steel thing or something. Anyways, did spend a danger point, so it's still got an action coming up here. But Valdis and Ursula, what's your plan?
I'm gonna hit it again.
It's well
this-
within Zweihander range.
I will attempt to skewer its back so I can like cut through its side, if I may.
Seems solid. Valdis?
I guess I'm gonna tell her to to just fall back. Fall
It has
back.
the box.
It has the box. Screw the box. It's.
No, it belongs to the museum.
I'm pretty sure the giant fucking darkness head disagrees.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Run away!
Nope. Not yet. You guys got it. I believe in you.
You guys got it.
Everyone can roll their action for that round.
Mine.
It's going to bite you, Ashlyn,
Oh.
No.
dramatically.
No.
You take 5 flesh wounds, which will work out to a dramatic wound. As
Okay.
as dramatically and almost not necessarily vampirish type fashion, but it's right there, and it like digs into your upper shoulder and just tears a piece of flesh out, blood flying everywhere. It really hurts.
Yeah. Really? It's just a scratch.
Also, that dress has a hole in it now.
No!
You think?
I mean, these things happen. How
I
did
don't
you,
care about the dress.
Valdis? Were you attacking? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend one of my hero points to form an ice sword in my hand.
Okay.
What the?
He forms an ice sword in his hand right in front of Ursula as her Zweihander is probably skewering this thing. How'd you do? How many raises did you get?
I got a 5 on that.
Okay.
By the hair of my chinny chin chin. I
5
done
is-
got the one I needed.
Oh, that's one short of a dramatic wound, I think. Nope.
Damn.
So you don't quite get it all the way through him, but it does still smoke as you stab him in the back with it.
Is there any way I could finagle maneuvering him to not have a hand on the box?
I mean, you could push him in a direction with your sword, I suppose.
Do less damage, and use some of your raises to push him.
I'll do that? I don't know how this game works, I'm sorry.
Sure. I mean, in theory, you can split your raises up between actions. They just each do, as long as it's, not like lots of action kind of thing. But what you're doing in the round is spending those raises. So if you wanted to make your action, I'm going to skewer through him and move him. You could do that. We had already kind of decided your action was pretty much the skewer, so we're going to stick with the skewer this time around, and then we'll talk about moving next round.
Fair enough.
Valdis is in fact going to. Are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
hit
spend a
with
hero
the
point for your ice sword.
Yep, I will roll for ice sword using brawn and weaponry.
So, a side note, from his defense perspective, he would need to spend raises to prevent your raises, but he used them all slashing Ashlyn already. So, you're basically just doing damage equal to the raises that you're going to get here.
So that's 3 10s. So that's 3 successes.
So, Ashlyn, just to be clear, the chat tells you that you should bite him back.
Oh,
Bite him
yes,
back, Ashlyn.
because human teeth are
Ashlyn.
kind of
Bite him back.
left.
To be clear, you have just as many skill in biting him as you do in stabbing him with your sword.
Yes, but stabbing is more sanitary.
Stabbing is more standard.
I mean, I think biting him's probably not finesse. I think it's some other trait. If you want,
Like I lost my damn mind trait. Is there one?
I mean, if I ever wanted to have someone convince me that it was a panache attack, That's
That's definitely a panache attack.
that might be an argument there for that.
Right.
Okay,
my mouth.
Valdis, how'd you do?
I got 3 10s, so three tens basically.
So 3. Luckily for you, your partner with the Zweihander has already flesh wounded it up, so you
Yeah.
get to push it over the dramatic wound side.
Woo!
Bad news is it's gonna like roll more dice, but
Well- Shit.
and also bad news, it's not down yet, but you do stab it. Where were you stabbing it?
Cut off its other arm.
Yeah, right. Please.
Yeah, it cut off its other arm. Yes, that's exactly it.
Well, I'm not going to give you a full arm for the one dramatic wound, but like a hand maybe.
Yeah, I'll take a hand. I'll take a hand.
Give
Okay.
a hand by taking a hand.
So if you take the hand
Ah.
off, which
Oh,
I mean, it's
God.
specifically got it out there and it's not really protecting it, so I'm okay with the hand move there. And it's dramatic, right? Which is what we care about. So
Right.
the hand is still clutching the box, Ashlyn. But his ice sword comes down on the wrist. It all comes off, and it decides at this point that maybe it's not going to win this fight with just teeth. And it's going to spend. I still have some danger points, so it's just going to get out of here.
Grab the box.
It leaps forward off of the sword. Obviously, it doesn't have the box. It does letting go of its bite and
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
knocking Ashlyn down, which isn't hard, and starts sprinting down the hall, blindingly fast, actually.
But I am me,
I can't see.
so I'm going to sprint after it, shouting in ice and, oh no you don't, monster.
No, you don't, monster.
Wait.
And I will give chase to the best of my
Harsh
ability.
words.
Chase
Harsh
it
words.
down.
Okay, so, what was that?
I tug on gosh, I forgot your name. Hold on. Valdis's
Yeah,
shirt or something, I guess, because I'm down on the floor.
right.
Perhaps now is a good time for me to go. Would you mind helping?
Yeah, no, follow me. We're just gonna go through. We're just gonna cut through the back garden and tell the dueling guys that we're just leaving.
Yeah, I figured we can just alert them that we were attacked, and I could like lean against your chest as you hold me, so I can hold this thing against my stomach so they can't see it, and say that he ran off with it. Sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So we go to the back garden.
Oh, what could go wrong?
I'm excited about that because guess where it's going? The back garden.
Woo! It's a party.
This is so much fun.
It's one of those garden parties you hear about all the time. They get together in the garden and they have a party.
Yeah.
You invite your friends and some ancient Elder Taurus. It's great.
Right, yeah. It's just a
Good
normal
times.
Sunday.
Good times.
Have a barbecue, cook an arm and a hand.
Right.
Walk home with a box.
Bite people on the shoulders just to tell them you said hello.
By
Okay.
people.
So Ricardo and Esteban, you're out there. There's still
Yeah.
a lot of swear words going on between the two of them, but as far as we can tell, people pretty much consider Ricardo to have won, and
Sweet.
Giuseppe's not particularly happy about that.
Well,
So there's a lot of.
I'll
like,
console him. I'll assure him that Ricardo cheated.
Who do you work for?
Who do you work for?
I mean, if one of the characters is going to betray us, we know who it's going to be.
It's gonna be that guy.
Definitely Ursula.
So
No.
I don't think so.
Doesn't strike me as that kind of a person.
I would
Yeah.
be a terrifying villain.
I'm gonna go for the soulless ginger.
Yes, you would.
Excellent, excellent.
as you're doing that, and there's kind of this like general nice commotion going around there, and the whole lot, there's a door bursts open. Actually, it probably doesn't burst open. It probably shatters the glass in it, as some guy with like one arm,
no
trailing
hands.
darkness, comes sprinting out. Those of you who are out there do recognize he does seem to be dressed like a Voddacce priest, even though he doesn't look particularly human. He sprints out into the garden, immediately like veers off towards some of the trees and a wall, making a much larger hole in the door. Following him is Ursula.
Sprinting full bore with my giant sword.
Esteban, Ricardo, what do you do?
Go ahead.
Feel free to take no actions because this is some pretty weird shit.
So there's a guy. Let's see, because I don't know anything really what's happening. So a guy dressed as a Voddacce priest comes out without, and he's missing some limbs.
And he doesn't look human.
And Ursula is chasing him.
Yep.
Do I have any idea what that creature is?
I clap and I say, "Go, Ursula! Get him!" And then I run in
Go,
back
Ursula!
to find where the other two are. And this might be an appropriate time to activate my virtue and give everyone a hero point.
Oh.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Greg, do I have any idea what that creature is?
No, you do not. Oh, no.
Oh,
no, you
cool.
Well, my sword's
Excellent.
glowing, isn't it?
The sword is glowing, though, so there's some, if you know enough about Draconizing, which you certainly would, that it tends to glow around, like, dark monsters and evil sorcery and stuff like that.
Perfect.
So
But the monster's just fleeing?
it looks like it's
Yes.
fleeing. In fact, it looks like it's dribbling black ichor behind it.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna tell the noble that I just treated that this is his chance to show his courage and save face. Attack the monster.
Save face,
Defeat
good
it.
one, Aaron.
Yes.
He's laughing at a pun he made. I'm so proud.
Goodness.
You're growing up, Aaron.
I'm trying to debate, do I give out hero points for good puns or not? If Aaron makes them, I think I do. So take a hero point for the face.
Perfect.
No. The comments.
I feel so dirty.
Don't encourage it.
So, anyways, Ricardo, you're heading that direction. You'll run right away into Ashlyn and Valdez because they're headed that direction too.
Okay.
Esteban and Giuseppe and Ursula, it's way faster than you, as it turns out. It can run.
Yeah.
So you don't think you're going to catch it. So you've got basically, we have one round action to try and do something to it before it gets over that wall, which it's
How
going to leap over.
tall is the wall?
The wall's about 10 feet.
All right. I've seen it climb on walls and its leaping capabilities thus far. I would like to, mid-run, switch my grip on my Zweihander to grab the small leather section of it like a lance and chuck it at the running priest thing. To either skewer it into the ground or into the wall.
Okay.
Ah!
Give me... This is actually aim, not weaponry.
Shit.
Because you're
It's okay, I have
throwing.
one in that.
But I'm going to allow you to stick with brawn for your skill because
That's right.
because this is
javelin?
definitely a brawn throw kind of thing.
Full sword.
Definitely a brawn throw.
And it's going to try and spend raises to avoid getting hit.
Don't forget your
As
flare.
we do.
This
So
is the-
flare for that.
First
Oh,
time
God.
you've used aim.
This is and you won't see me use it very often if I can avoid it. Are there any things I can use hero points for?
Extra die?
I would like as many dice as possible for this because I'm losing the
Can you
advantage.
spend multiple
You know,
hero points?
I think I am
two.
going to spend. Can I spend a hero point to Ader?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you say something like "Go get it," right? I think you already did. You
Yeah.
said "Go get it,"
Yep.
Ursula.
Go
It
get
was really inspiring. It
He was really inspired.
4 dice inspiring, in fact.
Oh, geez. All right, neat. And then how many dice per hero point spent for me?
It's just 1 for ones on yourself.
All right, I will
Way
use
more
2.
efficient to spend on other people, which is part of how the system is designed to encourage helping each other rather than...
Wait, could I also help her, or is it kind of like a one-person thing?
There isn't a hard and fast rule there. So if you want to spend a hero point, because they're a limited resource, go right ahead.
I definitely would like to do that. I have quite a few now.
Yay!
That you're not using
Help
for other
me
things.
kill it!
Yeah.
And you're helping it by like getting Giuseppe to trip it up or something.
Yeah, I'm sending him out after it. Like, go, brave noble. Show your courage. Regain your honor.
Just sending Giuseppe after it.
His hero
Alright.
point is being used to distract it with Giuseppe so that it doesn't know what's going on.
Okay.
That's 3 more dice in case you needed it.
Okay, alright. That gives me 15 total dice. Let's see if my ability to roll exploding dice carries over into this fistful of gross. Surprise, surprise, it does. It actually does. Jesus. I don't have enough d10s for this, team. Okay, give me a second to do math.
Meanwhile, Ricardo, you run into Valdez and Ashlyn. Ashlyn, in particular, your little blouse carrying case where you're hiding things is glowing with multiple colors now and seems to be flashing, and is actually hot enough that it's extremely uncomfortable. It's
Even though,
actually,
I'm, kind of
I think-
over it.
I was going to say smoke is coming out of it.
Oh. Oh.
Also spiders.
Ugh.
So how am I gonna do this really inconspicuously?
I take off my cloak and I throw it over her, or just throw it over top of her head, and I just shove her. I'm like, Valdez, take her to the ship now. Let's go. And I just shove her along.
Okay.
Okay, boys.
And then I guess I can do my. No, never mind. I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay, Ursula, what'd you get?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 wasted dice. And it takes an extra
7.
wound from my Dracheneisen, and then I'm not sure if signature item counts for this.
You have
can
to spend a hero point.
Oh, well, I spent both of mine to add extra dice anyway, so.
Oh, well, then you should have gotten 2 extra dice, because if you're spending them on your signature item, they're worth 2. That's my
I
bad.
don't have that many d10s. Hold on. D100s.
And I would just
What a problem
spend
you
the hero
have.
points, because you get to add you would get to add your brawn, which is like a 4, right?
Yes.
So you would do that much more wounds automatically if you save one of them for. Because you spent 2 points already, right? So it's like you spent 1.
Yeah, it's retroactive, but we are learning here. So the one of those dice basically gave you the 2 dice that you rolled. 1 point gave you the 2
Okay.
dice, and the other point you could use to use your hero signature item ability to do extra damage.
Okay.
Which essentially at this point will add your brawn,
Which
Do
is
it.
4.
which is a lot. So as long as you hit it, you're going to do a whole bunch of damage.
Okay.
So if you think that 7 is enough to hit it, then you're good.
Well, it's 8 because of that extra dice. I got the 5 I needed to make my wasted dice not wasted. So,
So
holy fuck, team efforts, guys. Good job.
So it takes 3 of those off because it only got a 3.
Yep.
Oh no, wait! It gets to roll extra dice because it's wounded. So give me.
Yes.
Ah.
So it gets to take 4 off. 4 off. But that still leaves it with enough to kill it or helpless it. In this case, kill it. And so you basically it leaps through the air over Giuseppe, who tried to get in the way of it.
Good job, brave sir.
And while it's in midair, your Zweihander hits it in the back, pins it to the wall, and it starts smoking into black ichor and darkness until there's nothing but a set of clothes pinned to a wall.
I breathe heavily as I was sprinting in, chucking heavy things, and then I'll walk over and pull my sword out of the wall and put it back on my back.
I want to lead the crowd in like some cheers for the fine Eisen warrior.
Can we do the wave while we're doing that?
Yes, perfect.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I want to start organizing a search party with the party goers here. It's a different kind of party now, so that we can go make sure that there aren't any more of these things lurking around the estate or the nearby streets. I'm basically going to try to lead them away from where Valdis and Ashlyn are escaping.
Completely in earnest, I will advocate for his plan of making sure.
Not even
Completely in earnest.
I despise.
Captain, that's a wonderful idea. You're so
Can I
smart.
make a quick stop next to Giuseppe?
Yeah.
So as you guys start to do this, Ashlyn, you start to feel like, in fact, you all feel this. There's like this magical pulse or energy that comes from this. You get this impression that it's like about to rip apart. You feel like the thing you're in is about to explode. Is more or less what I'm
God
trying to get
damn
at.
it! So I jump out of his arm. Sorry. I'm gonna jump.
And football toss it.
Yep. Basically,
You're football tossing it to where?
To any like,
Giuseppe.
yeah. Well, no.
Giuseppe? Hey, I'm next to Giuseppe.
The crowd is gathered around them over there, right? So I'm gonna like toss it away from everybody else.
Okay.
That's gonna be my that way. So that's aim, and can I do finesse with that or panache?
As you lift it, it explodes into.
Okay,
magical
Greg.
energy.
Oh no!
I'm going to spend a hero point at this point.
Giuseppe,
Wait.
Films, what do you got?
I spent a hero point to get myself out of danger. That's my other hubris.
Okay.
But it's only me. I only save me.
Yeah, thanks, coward.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You don't actually have to spend a hero point for that.
That's the thing I do.
Your whatever we call them, it starts with a V.
Mm-hmm.
They
Vice?
not
Your
vice, the opposite of that.
Your virtue.
Virtue.
I don't know if I call this a virtue, but yeah.
Doesn't require a hero point. So
Okay.
you do that. As a side note, Ashlyn, you also have a virtue that
Yes.
might be relevant here.
Yep,
don't
so
know if
I
you
was
want to use
thinking
it or
about
not.
that.
It's your call.
Yep, I am going to do that. I'm going to activate my virtue to prevent any magical effect on me.
Great. Now I just look like an asshole.
So then, like, could I prevent it from affecting anybody else if I, like, wrap myself around it? Is this just
You're gonna
on
jump
me?
on the grenade?
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Jump on the magic grenade.
And make a new character.
Okay,
All right.
I'll let you guys think there for a second as I put up a new poll for our watchers about what's going to happen here.
Wait, do we get to vote in this?
You know, I'm not your average aristocrat.
I don't think any of us
Or
are
at least
average.
what happens next. There we
Or as
go.
we wait for our doom.
Okay, new poll should be up for those. We didn't double check.
Yeah, can we vote?
Can we vote on that?
we both
No.
What? No! Dang it.
This is what the audience gets to decide, not.
Happiness and
Oh,
rainbows.
no.
Happiness
What
and
you guys
rainbows.
do.
Neither of those things are good things, knowing Greg.
What is it?
The lovers are the
Okay.
devil.
The lovers are the devil.
I have not seen a poll pop up for your information, Greg.
Somebody
I
voted
have.
on it. I think it's. If not,
Okay.
look down at the middle right to see. I have to say, one of my options didn't make it into the poll.
The poll exists.
But I guess we'll stick with that. You guys didn't want the betrayal on there anyways.
No,
Hey,
we didn't.
hey.
Okay. Okay, so we are just about nearing the end of our session today, which is good. But this magic energy blinds everyone. Ashlyn, did you use your virtue?
Yes.
Okay. You are as you were throwing it, it was in your hand, right? So it exploded. So you're up. Everyone else kind of like is momentarily stunned by the brightness and like this feeling of energy inside your body. As it turns out, Esteban, this includes you.
Uh-oh. Dang it.
As the energy courses through your body, you don't feel bad. You actually feel really good, like as if
I'm dead.
you're bigger,
I'm dead.
stronger. In fact, all of you. Well, let's see here. We'll go through this. Ricardo, you suddenly have 2 more points in finesse.
Woo!
Woo!
And Ursula, you have 2 more points in brawn.
Wait,
Oh,
does that go
perfect.
over the allotted amount?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Valdis, you have 2 more points in resolve.
Woo!
Just badasses.
And Esteban, you have 2 more points in wits, which also goes
Ooh.
over the.
I'm so smart.
As this magical energy courses through you. Side note: Giuseppe is also glowing. But it seems to be relatively, after already having taken 1 dramatic wound, and I guess it probably got fixed, but he's kind of lying there. Ashlyn, you are not.
Okay.
The box that you still have it in your hands, it has now closed and is not glowing in any fashion, but does not otherwise look harmed.
All right.
And
So
is-
it
and
didn't
is
do
cool to
anything
the
to
touch.
me, right?
And you seem fine.
Okay.
That is
I'm
correct.
good with that. I'm good with that. So we're still where we were at. It was just like this explosion, right?
Right, although we're going to work on a wrap-up here because we have
Oh.
15 minutes left till the end of the stream.
Got it.
And that's probably, but what just happened there is probably actually a pretty good place for us to stop. In case you're curious, the lovers won the poll. So that obviously had some impact on the great stuff that happened to you right then, but also probably we'll pick up with that next session as well. Just as kind of a before we close, as you're all
Thanks,
laying
stream.
there in the garden, glowing from things with a Zweihander pinning the clothes of a priest to a wall, next to a son of a prince of Voddacce. I'm going to go around to each of you and have you kind of tell me what was your favorite thing about the session, and what your, well, we'll just call that good. We'll start with our captain. What was great this time, Ricardo?
Clearly, the best thing was the Eisen hucking her giant sword like a spear.
Yes. Hands down.
That is definitely the best thing. But other than that, I suppose. No, I'll take that one. Everybody else can
That's mine.
with
Well,
something to compete with that.
the great part about that one, of course, is it was also a sort of a team effort, right? Mechanics-wise, so it was a good thing.
It's true. Yeah.
Since you threw that, Ursula, what do you think? What did you like this session?
That I actually got to do something. I expected a Voddacce party to be me mostly just being generally huffy about things and or disappointed, but I got to feel really cool, and I got a lot of help from my fellow players to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the audience
Thanks,
felt
team.
like a moonless night was in your future, and that meant dark evil. So good luck.
Oh.
So good job. That helped you out.
Yep.
Might
Yeah.
not have been as exciting for others. Valdis.
I mean, for me, I really enjoyed just showing up at the party and just being being really what's the word I want to use? Antagonistic to the
Henry?
general.
Sounds like fun.
It was a good time. I had a good time. Also, I'll probably have to explain this ice sword nonsense, but I'll save that for a later day.
Yeah, I'm excited about the ice sword conversation. We'll be starting that out next session.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, what ice sword are you talking about? I don't know.
Well, I'm definitely going to be bringing it up. So.
Some of these conversations might have to wait till you get back to the ship, but we'll see how that works
Right.
out. Luckily, betrayal wasn't one of the options, so you should still have a ship left when you get there.
Woo!
Oh, hey. Ha 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 ha.
Esteban.
Honestly, I enjoyed sucking up to a bad guy. I really feel that this is a good strategy. I know you guys don't like it, but I think it's going to work out.
So, I mean, in the end, you sure you're not Voddacce and you're Castilian? Because Voddacces have a special background advantage called "We're not so different." That is used on villains.
No.
It's one of my favorites, but nobody took it here, so that'll be good.
Well,
For
Yes,
obvious
I guess.
reasons.
Okay, Ashlyn?
Well, I like the sword flinging. That was pretty awesome. I just like how Bodhi, both Bodhi and Rob came and saved me.
And you continually tried to unsave yourself.
Well, to be fair, I was very curious about what that one was.
I was trying to save you in spirit.
Right, yeah. No, Bodhi and Rob are my spirit people right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, my favorite thing at this session was probably actually that I solved the sound problem without, which was good. But other than that, I very much enjoyed putting you in Voddacce and having a conversation about spiders and not killing them, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll admit the blind room where I crashed everything was probably my most entertaining phase of that.
Why am I Budhead? Well, I don't remember making my username Budhead.
It is now.
I think you can change it once every 60 days or something. Maybe give it a go. Okay, thank you all for playing, and thank you all for those of you who watched. This was our first stream ever for this group and for what we're doing, and I think we at least managed to have some fun amongst ourselves, and we hope you had some fun as well. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We did it!
Yay, we didn't die.
We did a thing.
We killed